Hey, you can check it out, see if we're on. I think we're on. We had a little bit of technical difficulty.
Operator error.
Yeah.
But teamwork, we figured it out.
Teamwork, we figured it out. I can hear everybody, I think, on their mics. So, here we are.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Monday.
Happy
No,
Tuesday
Tuesday.
night. Tuesday night.
Tuesday. I know, I said good morning when I
Is
walked
it Tuesday?
in.
I guess it is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday
It
night.
is Tuesday.
Yep,
You know-
Frankie's is closed. I drove by there. It was deserted. So,
Was it?
it's
Oh,
Tuesday
that's right.
night.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let me tell you, I know you guys are all like retired and stuff and you don't have to deal with this anymore, but it sucks.
You're old. You're
Having-
old, okay?
It sucks having a couple days off for Thanksgiving, having that nice long weekend and just like, getting into your food coma and just your comfy clothes and shopping and you whatever. And then
Not following any texts or
And
anything
then-
like
We do that
that.
every day,
It's
don't
like
we?
we didn't even
Every
hear
day,
from
right?
her. It's like
We just lay around in
she
our
was in
flannel
another
jammies all
world,
day,
another
every day.
dimension.
Watching soap operas,
Oh, last I heard, I'm ignoring this text.
eating bonbons,
Group.
watching soap operas.
Now
right?
on.
Yeah.
but then
So anyway,
but some of us have to actually go back to work
Stop.
on that Monday
stop.
and it sucks.
My wife didn't
sucks.
complain.
She probably did. You just weren't listening to her.
I don't. Well, that might be. Yeah.
But I mean, it really does. It's just, and how productive are people between now and Christmas? I mean,
You should just get the whole month off, right?
right?
Is that what you're driving
Yeah,
at?
kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, in some
Yeah.
countries, they
Oh, I know.
do take a whole month
Oh, I
off.
know.
August. Yeah. August is a big month for the Europeans.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sure.
I mean, seriously, how productive are people?
Yeah. Well,
Like just generally speaking, probably not, because you're in the office. If you have an office job, you're in there, you're on Amazon, you're on,
especially
whatever.
Some people, they get Thanksgiving, they get the day after.
Mhm.
And then people take that whole week off and why go in for 3 days?
Right,
I'll just
exactly.
go in, so they got the
How,
whole
how
week.
busy? How busy were you when there was no power at some houses or something like that? What were you doing when you
Phone
were
rang.
working? You
That
said,
phone
"Yeah, the
rang,
phone
I had to
rang."
go.
I work at a power plant.
Yep.
Do you think we were goofing off at the power plant?
Yes.
It just ran by itself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
No, we had things to do.
We did.
We weren't sitting there ordering things on Amazon
No,
or
DoorDash.
Target online.
Doing the DoorDash thing, right?
You know what
Nope.
really
It
sucked?
can't be easy. You just can't.
You know what made it even worse
Oh,
is that
here we
after
go.
that long weekend, I started my work week off with a meeting first thing in the morning. Like that sucks. A Monday morning meeting. I tried to avoid those at all costs, and first thing in the morning, big meeting, trying to figure. They're like, "Oh, what's going on with this, with that, with that?" I'm like, I have like 500 emails because I took 2 days off, and nobody else outside the U.S. takes it off. It's a U.S. holiday, so
Yeah.
everybody else was still
Yes. And
working.
there's wondering what Kathy's doing. What's Kathy doing?
I come into like 500 emails. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I have to get through all my stuff.
I get
but
quite a few
It
emails
sucks.
too.
I think she
Being
needs an
retired,
assistant.
a bunch
I think
of
she needs
junk,
an
but it's
assistant.
a bunch
I
of
would
emails.
love an
An
assistant.
assistant. That's what she needs.
I would love an assistant.
Oh yeah.
But I still picked it though. 5:35. She
Whatever.
didn't get here on time.
Well,
Whatever.
we weren't on anyway until
Well, I
5
know,
minutes
but
later.
if we were, it would have been an embarrassment.
So sorry for us being on late. I had a little bit of issues and tried to get in touch with Mike. He's busy supposedly doing a game, but I guess he's got a little card trouble right now, so he's struggling through that.
But we're on.
So
We made
we're
it.
here. We're here.
We did it.
So,
We basically just had to get out of what was set up and just start a whole new stream. So we made it
beautiful.
work.
So
Go with the flow.
luckily, I thought about it and I said, I better text her. I said, "Are you showing up tonight?"
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
I
Yeah.
can hear it. I can just hear it.
As soon as I saw the text, I was like, oh, damn it. I'm like, oh, and last night was one of those nights where I didn't sleep at all. Like I never fell asleep. So
When do you
all
go to
day
sleep?
I've been dragging. I've been okay lately, but
Hour and a
so
half.
today I was dragging today, like big time. So when you
Cool.
text me, I was like, oh, and my alarm would have gone off to remind me, but yeah, it really wasn't on my radar today at all until you text me, but that's all right.
That's what we have to
We're
do
here.
once in a while. Just remind some people.
Mhm. Yeah.
Try to remind everybody. So
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it because otherwise I would have waited till my alarm went off. And then at that point I would have been like, oh, but so the heads up was
Why is
good.
that alarm going off?
Right? What
Why?
is that for?
Oh,
Mhm.
damn, the radio show.
Mhm.
Oh, my God.
I'm just not used to it being at night. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's not, I mean, I said good morning when I walked
Yeah,
in. Like
no,
it's
it's-
just habit. Like,
Mm.
it is different because you don't have to get up out of bed and go take off, and
Yeah.
Well, I had to text him. I only did
You know.
the first night that he did it at night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, crap, is it 5 o'clock or 5:30? He says, no, it's 5:30. Okay, great. See you there.
Uh-huh.
yeah, I got here 10 after to make sure everything was set up, and I was sitting here looking at it. And I'm like, it's
doesn't
counting
look
down,
right.
so that's good. It's counting down. So I'll wait for it to count down, and the go live button will appear, and it never did. So
Nope.
so we had to restart everything again, like we did before. Mike tried to set things up, but he's had some issues with this thing anyway himself.
Yeah, the
so.
streaming platform is kind of wonky.
Anyway,
Everyone got their Christmas shopping done?
What? For
Or,
who?
or are you
No.
or are you guys, do you wait till the 24th?
No.
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
I only did that once.
Do you go shopping? Do you
No.
do Christmas shopping? No. Okay.
I only did that once. I pulled in on the boat from the Med on the 23rd,
Ooh.
and I didn't have duty for like 4 days later. So I jumped in my car, drove down to Delaware, visit my mom, and on the next morning, on the 24th, I'm running around buying Christmas gifts for the family, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was a crazy couple of days. Then on the 26th, I had to drive back for duty.
Ew.
So that was the only time I did last minute shopping. But
Yeah, but it's because you had no choice.
Yeah.
You were kind of forced to.
well, we're going shopping. The wife and I are going shopping Thursday, Monday,
Mm.
Thursday.
Hmm.
But then I got to get back for the ordinance.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But
Well, you've got kids and grandkids here.
Yeah.
yeah,
My wife gets all that stuff for them and usually just has it shipped
Ship it.
that way, or
Mhm.
they don't come up here. And I'm not
Yeah.
going down there at Christmas time. It's bad enough the week we were just down there. It snowed a couple of nights, but
really?
yeah,
Wow, in West Virginia?
yep.
Wow.
When did we leave? We left on Monday, Saturday night, Sunday night. It was snowed.
Wow.
Saturday night it wasn't bad. I mean, it got a covering on everything, but when we got up in the morning on Sunday, jeez, the sun came out and melted it. It wasn't warm, but the sun melted
Yeah.
it. But then Monday, I had to get up and wipe it off the car and get the car started. And I thought for sure, if you're not familiar with the area, the one Route 64 that takes you east back to 81, that one usually that's up through the mountains, and that can be shitty.
No, I'm sure.
And it wasn't. It was clean. It was dry. It was like, thank God, that would be the one that would scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you see the snowstorm that upstate New York,
Oh my God, Buffalo.
Pennsylvania?
Buffalo game. I was watching the Buffalo
Oh my
game. People were bringing
God.
shovels so you clean their seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got 96
Oh,
inches or
it's
60
crazy.
inches, or I don't know, some.
Then they were
Several
expecting
feet.
that storm to go this way, but it came back and bit them again. So
Oh, did it?
It was like a double whack. Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable. They got hit so fast.
Yeah.
And you can't keep up with
But you
that.
should get one of them a year.
Oh, they get it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with a guy who grew up in Buffalo
Yeah.
at Millstone, and
They pay people
It was
$20 an hour to go shoot.
constantly,
Yep.
over their head in snow.
Ugh.
So, yeah.
You just don't
And there
know.
are people out there that enjoy that.
Oh my God.
Do people really enjoy that, or do they just suck it up because the rest of the year is good? Or do they
They're
really
just used
enjoy
to it.
snow like that?
I guess they're just used to it. So,
You get it once.
I don't think I could ever get used
But
to
if
that.
it's 2 or 3 times a winter,
Ugh.
hell no.
how many school days do they get canceled up there?
Right?
Snow days.
Makes you wonder. Back in the day, we never had. It was always the 1 hour delay, 1 hour delay, 1 hour delay,
Mhm.
and even that wasn't a lot.
I could-
or very
up there'd be a
often.
1 week delay. Come on,
Yeah, and nowadays it's like it says it's going to
They're
rain on
canceling 2 days
Friday.
ahead.
Yeah, they're-
Wednesday.
right?
We better think about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well,
I guess
this morning
liability
when
and
you
stuff,
got up,
but-
it was 17 degrees out this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
it
Our
was
bedroom
cold.
windows are still open.
Yeah.
You don't wonder why.
Woke
he's
up,
working.
I had
He's back on
icicles
nights
hanging
this
off
week,
my
right?
nose. He is. He
Yeah,
is.
so-
Although he's on a double today, so he's working.
Well, no wonder you were awake all night. You were,
Yeah. I was free. Well, I had the
You're
dog
freezing.
right next to me, but yeah, he got called in for work, so he's working a double. So he's working 3 p.m.
I texted him
to
because there
7
were some
a.m.
emails
tomorrow
going
morning.
around, and I wanted to make sure he was up to speed with it and everything. So he said he was.
Yeah, yeah, he
So-
did a 12 on Sunday night into Monday, another 12 Monday into Tuesday, and yesterday he also had that fire in Lisbon. So he went to bed for
Yeah.
30 minutes, and the fire came in, and then he was there till noon. So he had been
Yeah.
up.
Unfortunately,
for
I
a long
was
time.
halfway to the gym when that call came in. I didn't notice it till I got to the gym. I was like, by the time I get up there and change, 'cause
Yeah.
I wasn't dressed to stand out in the cold.
Mhm.
Like that. But
Yeah.
Victoria's listening, so thank you, Victoria. We got one person listening. On my way to the ZBA meeting.
That's exciting.
She's going to
Exciting
take
shit
us
right
for the
there.
ride.
ZBA.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
she's probably going to have her earphones in, listen to us while she's at the ZBA meeting.
So exciting. How many people show up for that, I wonder?
Yeah, how
sure
many
there's a
people
lot of
show up for
residents.
that, Victoria?
You know what? Victoria, do you stream it? Curious.
Oh, so
stream your
we went to
meetings?
the board, the special meeting today. So they talked about the
Oh, there was a special meeting today?
You missed it? Oh my God.
Totally missed it.
talked about some land thing
That
about
whole
the
property
water
over behind
tower
Osage State
land
Job.
back
again?
there. Yeah, because
That's
I guess
going
it's
to turn into a you know what.
little issue there with the water tower, and then but the thing we went to go see is what they were going to do with the ARPA funds. So they came up with a list
Oh,
that
yeah.
they want to do with the ARPA funds. So
Yep. How much do they have left?
I think 1.7. I think.
Wow,
it was
really?
1.7.
1,173,000
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
on their list that they had.
That still needs to be earmarked for something?
No,
or to
that's the
spend?
list that they're going
It's
to earmark
their wish
for
list,
that.
yeah.
I think it was 1.2 million, somewhere around there.
I have no idea. I don't even know
So,
what they got to begin with, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it
Well,
was.
this is what's left,
Mm.
Yeah, it was-
and they have to have it committed by the end of the month.
But yeah, I know a while ago, I don't know if this is still on the list, but a while ago on the list was a sign for out front, a digital sign. Is that still on the list?
I didn't see that on the list.
Because that was supposed to be one of the things.
The big money ticket thing is the new chassis for the rescue truck
For
for Griswold.
Okay.
Because I knew they were talking about that for quite a while, that they needed to do something with that fire
Mm-hmm.
rescue truck for Griswold. And then they were
It was a public
talking
works
about
truck.
the AV setup in the town meeting room. That was one of it.
Okay.
They needed 2 new servers that they were going to try and
Really?
get next year, but since they got the money, they're going to replace the servers
The
this year.
service for the town hall.
Yeah, because I guess
Oh,
it
not
was-
just for streaming.
No,
Oh, I thought you were
no,
saying
that's-
for streaming.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
that's
why
for
would
their-
It
they
was
need
only like
that?
30,000.
that's for their
okay. I'm
computer
like-
system. So that
And it was a fire truck.
was a fire
Not only the rescue truck, but another truck.
Another
Public
truck?
works truck. I'm sorry. It
public
was a
works
public
truck,
works truck. It was the.
I've heard
the
some of
street lights
those are
out
pretty
here.
sketchy.
It was the street lights out here.
street lights. Yep.
The
I did-
decorative ones?
I didn't see the security. Did you see the security glass in there too?
30,000 for the security
Yep.
glass.
Okay.
So now that means they're going to have to wait. Like it's going to be earmarked. So like the security glass still has to wait for
So the
that.
finance directors wanted to get the list going so you get the contracts in by in
In
a
the
week,
next
a week and a half or
something,
2.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. So they're going to finalize everything. I think they're going to roll it out next week, board of
Okay.
selectmen meeting.
Good.
What they're going to do.
Yeah, they want to be able to present it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that security glass. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to drop $1 million, but
You have
you know,
to. It's use it or
we
lose
didn't
it
get
at
a
this
chance
point.
to ask the question.
It was a special meeting. You couldn't.
Right.
Oh,
So we couldn't
right.
ask a question, but Martin showed us the list after the meeting and what they
Okay.
were talking about.
Gotcha.
So,
See it now or see it later.
Yeah.
but I thought that was earmarked for something else, that ARPA fund, wasn't it?
I thought so.
Was
ARPA
it?
fund.
Yeah, I thought it was going for down the road.
Oh, talking about the borough. Yeah, it was supposed to be. They were going to take 1 million from there.
Yeah.
They
So
offered
maybe there's
it.
more than we know about.
They offered it. They offered 1 million
Yep.
to the borough and DPU
Mhm.
in exchange for $1.7 million worth of tie-in buy-in fees
Yep.
Right.
for economic development in the future, and it wasn't accepted.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We were wondering about that while we were sitting there after the meeting. We went outside and talked. So I thought that was earmarked for the sewer system
Who
repairs.
voted that down?
Yeah.
Borough?
So
It had to be the town of Griswold, the borough, and JCDPU and commissioners all had to agree to it, and not everybody did.
Wow.
So, yep. So that's not moving forward.
What's Plan B?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I think right now Plan B is, I mean, work is still happening at the
Mhm.
wastewater treatment plant. Upgrades are being made. Things are being maintained. I think, I mean, personally, my thought is it's a much bigger issue than just things are already reaching their life cycle right
Mhm.
now.
Shelf life.
But
yeah.
right, but like the wastewater treatment plant was built with economic development in mind 20
Mhm.
years ago.
Yep.
That didn't happen. So personally for me, I try to look at the big picture, and Yeah, I mean, obviously there are things that need to be addressed now and fixed now and all of that, but I don't want to see us in the same position 20 years from now, with no economic development and things falling off over there.
Yep.
So I'm looking at the bigger issue. I'd like to see an economic development plan and wastewater treatment be part of that, have the JCDPU part of that commission, whatever, just everybody together coming up with this economic development plan. So we're not doing this again in 20 years. That's my personal.
The big hope at the meeting today was, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, that 164 develops. Everybody says there's going to be, a whole different picture up there once you get water and sewer all the way down as far as almost to the golf course at that point.
Yep.
And it could change the scope of everything up there.
I would like to see a plan, though. What is the plan? There's got to be an economic development plan. Otherwise, you're literally flying by the seat of your pants. I mean, what's the point? What are you working toward?
I know
What's the goal?
there's been some things out
And that
there
hasn't
people have
worked.
said about that. There's some people interested once we get everything laid out. The waters ran, the sewers ran. Heritage River, I've heard rumors about maybe they got somebody from New Haven that's willing to buy the property, put something affordable housing in there. As far as the big help for the town in revenue, for whether it be stores or industrial park or office buildings or any of that stuff.
What about a data center?
You keep
What
bringing.
about that?
You know what?
What's the
Well,
latest?
you told
with
her
that?
to show up anyway.
What is one was supposed to be going down at United No, oh Jesus, not United Nuclear. Millstone.
No longer.
Jesus.
I think that's still battling. When I
Are they?
was working down there for the month, I saw a few no data center signs up.
Did you?
Down the road when I was
I
driving
haven't been
in.
following it, so I'm curious.
So I don't know how that's going.
Yeah, because you're just talking about what could possibly go on 164, and if it's that little used car lot and RV place that on the flag property, or there's another convenience store, there's a little grocery store or something like that.
Yep.
That doesn't give you much.
Mm-mm.
It really doesn't. It
No.
gives you taxes,
And
but it
a
doesn't
little
provide
bit.
much to the sewer plant.
Right,
There's
yeah.
not much water usage there.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah, and honestly,
is it
I
the
mean,
best use for that property?
right, and is low income housing or affordable housing best use, or is that going to
That's-
drain more from
No,
the
you-
town than it will provide
Well,
to
in
the
the
town?
way of like the schools or the EMS
Right.
system,
Yeah.
but I mean, granted, you're going to get the water, you're going to get the sewer and all that stuff,
But it's not a lot.
what's the
though.
trade-off? No.
Believe it or not, it's not a
No.
lot. When talking about all the sewer stuff lately, I've learned more about shit plant operations than I ever cared to know.
She learned more about
Oh,
shit than she cared to know.
God, never in my wildest dreams
But she
did
knows
I
when she
think that I was
flushes that
gonna.
toilet, it goes.
Yeah, that I was going to grow up and learn about shit plant operations. What we learned though is that households really don't contribute a whole lot.
It's not.
A lot of the what did he say, low flow toilets that came out
Yep.
years ago and all that
Low flow
really,
shower heads,
all
everything,
of that really put,
Yep.
kind of it didn't help obviously.
Well, some industrial stuff would help out, right?
Depends on what it is.
So, like when they were talking about the
Put a growing facility.
marijuana
Yeah.
farm
growing
over
facility
there
in there,
by
watch what
Wire
happens.
Wine, that
Mhm.
would have been a big deal,
Wouldn't
but
be
that
much on the
fell
sewer
through.
side, but they use a lot of water.
Water.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
And electric, not that it matters to us, but
Yeah.
and if there's something in the works, they really can't talk about it until
Of
it
course,
becomes
and that makes
finalized.
sense, yeah.
So,
But it would be nice to know if something's in the works. I understand they can't give details, but it'd be nice to know this. Somebody is looking at this specific property, or somebody's looking at this one, or I would say put something up like in the lobby of the town hall of 164, like the plans, like what the parcels look like. Even I mean, a lot of people
Who
probably
owns
don't
them,
even
whatever,
who
right.
owns this, how big, how many square acres is this parcel, how many, just to give people, so when you're going in there, you kind of stand around the lobby, kind of look at the things on the wall and kind of get a sense of what the hell's
Yeah.
going on,
Well,
what's even up there.
I'm thinking
now.
in 5 years you're going to see all the houses that are on that road going to be up for
Like-
sale and gone.
Mhm.
There's also already a couple foreclosed
Yeah.
properties on that.
Mhm.
on
there's
that
the ones
road.
across the street that are boarded up and have been boarded
Yeah,
up for a long
forever.
time.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know what the plan is for that. I'm sure.
It'd be nice to just see.
Hey, I got some comments
what it's-
here. Let's see. I got Rachel says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen,
Hello.
or lady and gentlemen."
Ladies.
ladies. No, she was
Yeah,
right,
lady.
ladies. She was right.
You're kidding me, right?
Well, no, let's move
Just
on.
like
Let's
just like
move
a
on
woman
from.
to be so
Yeah,
sensitive.
that's it. Let's not be sensitive. Let's see. Rich Wasolik says, looking good up there. Must be talking about his wife.
Looking good up there. Or
Looking
maybe he's
good
talking about
up there.
164. I don't know.
And Victoria's, your plan of conservation development is the plan you should be following for the town.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Well,
know if we even have a conservation development plan.
Yeah, so
Probably not.
So I know there's nothing going through the EDC because they
some
canceled the
somebody named Benjamin Woodworking. I don't know
Okay.
who that is. What happens if someone wants to put solar power in there? No, we're not doing that.
Solar power
Yeah,
in what?
solar power farm.
meeting. Oh, like
Oh,
138.
we already
Norway.
have that here, and we got screwed on
Yeah,
it.
we got
so
screwed
I
on
think
it.
we learned the lesson on
Yeah,
that
I
one.
don't think we're
Now
going to
you can
be.
put it in. It's just got to be over 3 megawatts.
Yeah,
That's
we
all.
don't get
Yeah.
anything from
We
it.
don't
The
get
way
nothing
they
from
the
it.
way they ended up splitting it up,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
We get nothing
Well,
from it.
The state helped us out with that.
Yeah.
2 megawatts and less, you get no tax money.
Right, and they ended up splitting it.
2 megawatts each
Mhm.
one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How come it's from Marissa, no development on 201 when you have north and southbound access?
That was looked at.
That
There-
was
there's-
Yeah, you got
right.
no infrastructure.
And there's no water sewer there. And
That's right.
the initial plan was water and sewer,
We're going to go up there.
164 and 201.
they didn't have
And now
enough money.
201 is
They
I
can
don't-
do
It's
it.
off-
It's
off
just
the, it's off the list.
so
for now, I guess.
when we
yeah.
voted for that back in 2019 before COVID.
Yep.
It's like BC before.
Let's see.
We had the money set aside to do both. In 4 years, over it was, the amount of cost of everything skyrocketed, as you well know,
Mhm.
and so it became
Prioritized
beyond our budget.
on 164.
So 164. Once that gets chugging along and we get more revenue coming to
Mhm.
town. What I understand, last thing was we're going to move over to 201 and start, conquering that.
Yeah.
And I would
the
love
money
to see.
for 20164,
Mhm.
and now there's no money for 201.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of interest either.
Well, and it depends. Again, it would be nice to see those parcels like up on a wall somewhere, and
Mhm.
where they physically are located, how much there is, whatever, what the access is, and all that. If there's any, special salamanders that we need to save, or all of that stuff.
Raspberry bushes,
Right,
or
right,
something.
yeah.
Or
So
even a
all
marketing plan of some sort.
right, but it would be-
What are we doing marketing these properties?
That
Yeah.
would be the place
But it would-
for an off again, on again gas station convenience store.
Mhm. And I know there was a truck stop, I guess, that had looked at
Oh, really?
part of that over there, but they said it wasn't big enough.
It's not that big, yeah.
Yeah, they said it wasn't big enough, and that's why I was wondering, like, how, because it looks pretty big, but I guess once you start,
I know a
building
few
it, it's
people
probably
over
not
there
as
would
big.
not like to see a truck stop
No,
over
I'm
there.
sure they wouldn't, because there are some. It is kind of residential.
It's right near me, although I hear trucks all the time going up down 395,
Yeah.
except for the new windows I got. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I put those new windows in. It's nice and quiet in the
Hmm.
house. That makes a big difference.
I think my window next to my desk at home is drafty because it says it's 69 degrees in my office, but there's no way, because I am sitting there freezing my butt off, and I'm right next to the window, so I'm pretty sure it's not.
Probably a
not a
single
very good-
pane old window.
Yeah.
Basic construction
Mm-hmm.
for a house.
Yep.
We went with we upgraded the windows this year, and it's nice.
Yeah.
A lot quieter. Let's see. On to some more. Let's see. Another comment on Mr. Woodworking here, whoever this is. Like
Yep.
Mike says.
Yep.
Who is this person?
Oh,
Is it a
yeah.
troll?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Doesn't
recognize
sound
the
like
name.
it.
Also, the 138 outside town. That doesn't have any water or sewer down there, right?
No water and sewer down there. And
So
once
that
you
would
get,
have to get ran down there.
I guess it depends on where he's talking about. Down 138.
Once you come down the hill, you need a pump station.
Yeah.
That's
But-
a big
It's
box.
stopping right after the Comfort Inn, right? I think
Yeah.
that's where
Right
it
before
stops.
the highway.
They've got it
Yep.
at Ocean State Job Lot when they built that property.
Didn't I?
That pushed
Oh,
all that
yeah.
swamp water up 138, towards the firehouse way. And I know on the right side of the road, the same side, it contaminated all the wells and it ruined the septic systems for like 5 or 6 houses. So the developer had to bring water and sewer to them houses. So it is up that
So
far.
it is past 395.
It-
Okay.
it is past 395. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how far. I think if you go too far down 138, my guess is that you'd have a lot of residents upset about commercializing in more in a rural residential area.
They were like almost dead set against East Coast auto sales.
Yeah.
They fought him because, oh my God, this isn't a business corridor. It's not.
Yeah,
You
it
got Ocean
very
State
much
Job Lot and
is,
Tractor
yeah.
Supply. You've got a
Mhm.
funeral home. You've got the other gas station over here. You've got, well, now it's Trahan Insurance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And all that
Gears.
stuff. Yeah, Gears, Santa
Campbell.
Listen, this is a business corridor. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, there's houses there. I get it. But
Yeah.
it's a commercial road. It's
Yeah.
not a residential road.
Right.
And then the next thing out of their mouth is, how come taxes are so high?
Of course.
Mhm.
Because I heard a
Yeah.
lot of that. And why are the taxes so high? Because
they
we
did.
don't
They
have any
fought it.
revenue coming in. The only revenue coming in is you guys.
But they
Mhm.
fought East Coast Auto. He had to change his lighting. He had to put them
Yep.
trees up
He had
so
to put the
lights wouldn't
trees
hit
up.
the house across the street.
Yep.
It was a horror show, but they did it. They wanted their business that bad. They did it.
Yep. And
Yep.
I don't know if there have been any complaints or anything since they've been. I mean, they've been there for a long time.
The only thing they made him take down, remember the dancing girl they had out there, that
No,
mechanical,
I don't
you know,
remember
with,
that.
with the yellow bikini bathing suit?
No,
on?
I
Oh yeah,
don't
she was funny.
remember
They made him take that down.
I would have just dressed her up. I would have used
They
it
did.
like,
At
like
different seasons.
yeah,
they
dress
did.
her up for different seasons,
But
like
there
they
was
do with the
this-
skeleton.
It was just a
Oh,
mechanical.
yeah.
It was like a hula girl or something, you know.
my
And
God.
it was a big one, and they made him take it down.
But it gets your attention, right?
And then, of course,
Jeez
somebody who
Louise.
lives out behind him, I won't mention who, won't let him come out the side road and turn right and go down that way on Edmond Road. They got to go left to get up onto 138. It's
What?
residents over there, yeah,
Why don't they want them going out onto Edmond Road?
because they don't want the traffic down that way. Because you got
They don't own
you
the
got,
road.
you got Leah Avenue down there,
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
and there's others.
But it's still, I mean, they don't own the road.
Well,
No,
listen, they have car shows. They can't go that way.
I've gone down that road.
That's one of the stipulations. They can't.
If I
they
go down,
can't-
if I go down there and the
Well, you-
traffic's
out
backed
of
up,
East Coast?
yeah.
Yeah, you can't
I go
come out
down
of
there.
East Coast. Well, they can't come out. They can't come out onto 130.
You want to know something? I don't see a sign.
I was
They-
going to say, how would you know?
There's an ordinance, so
There's
Is
trust me.
there?
Ask him; he'll tell you.
There's no ordinance.
But they can't pull out onto 138 out of that parking lot. They made that a stipulation, I guess. They have to go around the back and come out, and they have to turn left to go to the traffic light to go on 138.
I hate
And
to
then,
break
like,
it
when-
to them, but I
and-
pull out onto
Well,
138.
you is one thing, but
Yeah.
but them as a business, if they
workers.
test drive cars or whatever,
Oh, gotcha.
and then the car shows, I guess they don't want them going that way. We don't want the traffic down here.
They don't want the traffic down Edmond.
There's been a lot of chit chat about that. So that's one of the stipulations when they have their car show is they got to put up a sign or something saying no right turn out of here. You got to go left.
Do you need a permit when there's a car show like that? Is
think
that part
so.
of like
Yeah.
a permit?
Insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I mean, I still can't, I don't know how residents can claim ownership of the road and who can use it, but I guess if there's a permit or something, then I don't know. I don't know how that works.
guess.
Yeah.
Okay, for something that happens once a year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not-
You know,
Not like Carlisle. It's
Hey,
not huge.
Right.
hey, try to be fire police at the damn snowflake parade.
Oh my God.
All right,
Or at the food distribution.
People cutting through the bank.
cutting through the bank and going, trying to go
Mhm.
up Slater, where there's people walking down Slater in the parade,
Mhm.
and you're trying to stop and explain it to them, and they go anywhere.
They
and
don't
so-
care.
You know, and then the fire chief says, "Let them go. They're gonna get stopped by the cops anyway, so don't
Mhm.
worry about it."
And that's
So-
probably what needs to happen.
Yeah, that's all.
So
Ugh.
you know, but the worst part is after the parade was over, you know, everybody wanted to leave,
Oh,
and they wanted to go up
yeah.
Slater while the parade's still coming up,
Coming down, like coming back,
Yeah.
back
going
into the
around,
school.
going around,
Going
Ashland,
back to
down
the
Ann
school,
Street,
yeah.
back to the school.
Yep.
So you're going to run into that anyway,
Mm.
right?
So at
Mhm.
least that wasn't at a snail's pace at that point. Then you just get across the road quick and get in the parking lot.
Mm.
Oh, that was Ronnie Gromko.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just saw that.
Hey,
I haven't
so
seen him around lately.
He was,
No.
I heard they were
No.
on vacation.
Well,
Somewhere.
was he?
yeah,
haven't seen him
maybe.
lately.
Yeah.
Usually we see him kind of out and about. And,
Somebody asked about that recently somewhere.
Mm.
I think it was a month ago. I saw him in Cranky's
Hmm.
last time I saw him.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments? I'm looking on the
Let's
trying to see what we have, but I don't see any others.
Oh, your husband said if you build it, they will come. So
Yeah, I saw that.
anyway,
Is he talking about low income housing or there's or economic
I
development?
know how Rich feels about
Right.
low income housing.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know, I don't mind having low income housing, but you got to have the infrastructure
It's
to
gotta-
support it.
So, yeah, and I think it needs to be balanced with commercial.
Yeah.
It can't just be all or like it's got to be balanced.
So the study needs to look at how's it going to affect EMS, how's it going to affect the school system, police,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. You know, we got
Mhm.
2 state troopers that are paid for by the borough, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
You
go
know?
there.
Otherwise, we got to call out to the troop if we need any
Mhm.
more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And sometimes they'll respond. I mean, if it's a big emergency or something, I'm sure that, they'll be responding because they're the closest ones. But yeah, I mean, they're not. The borough does pay for them. The
But not
borough
at night. They only work
residents.
during the day, right?
No, sometimes they're at night. They're not 24/7,
Right.
but sometimes they are on at night. Their shifts are kind of funky. But yeah, it's not just.
well, we can't expect the U.S. government or something to give us any money because they're giving it all to Africa and everywhere else.
Africa?
He
Giving
was
it
just
to
in
Africa
Angola. So Biden was in Angola
I haven't been
today,
watching.
and he gave them $1 billion, for disaster relief.
But
What
I tell
disaster?
You, listen, North Carolina could have used that money.
They got
gonna say, what's
$750 a person.
They didn't even get that. They had to apply for
Yeah,
it,
they
and a lot of them
applied
were
for it.
getting
Some got turned
denied.
down.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
So he
that's-
gave them $1 billion over in Africa, and he hadn't been in Africa in, I guess, the whole term. So it's the first time he's been there, right? But we can't even take care of our own down in North Carolina.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, I know with that hurricane that came through, and it was North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, or Kentucky, or something. Right,
Tennessee,
that got hit.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I've seen videos of residents down there posting videos, and they're like, "We're, it's been however long, and it looks like it just happened like last week."
It hasn't done.
Like,
When I saw the report today,
it's awful.
it looked the same as the
Mhm.
person who's reporting out says it looked the same as it did 2
Yeah.
months ago when it first hit.
Living in tents.
Mhm.
They're finally getting like wooden sheds or something built that they can live in.
Yep.
It's terrible. And
Awful.
this jackass goes to Africa and gives away $1 billion when we could have used it right there.
Does that have to? That doesn't have to be approved or go
Jesus
through.
Christ.
Did it go through
What got
Congress? It got
approved? What got
approved.
Did they have a
Go to
town
Ukraine.
meeting talk about it?
I know, right? What got approved to go to Ukraine? Who approved it?
that was
Wow.
another several $1 million for
billions.
yeah.
So what happened in Africa that
I don't know.
they needed that money?
I don't
Was
know.
there
They
some
didn't
kind
get
of
into it all.
natural disaster
They went
or war?
so basically when they did the report, they went from the North Carolina clip and that report out straight back to the main office, and the guy says, "And Biden just gave Angola $1 billion for
Probably clean
disaster
water.
relief, but we can't do anything with North Carolina."
That's so weird.
There's always something over there with like clean water and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
probably.
Well,
And
the
I'm
same
sure they
thing in
probably
Detroit doesn't
probably
Detroit
need
or
it.
something still have
They still
nasty
got
water?
who's got the lead water? Flint.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Flint. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, has that been
That
corrected
problem's
yet?
not resolved.
Oh my god. Yeah, I hadn't heard all that. I haven't been watching the news. Like,
Probably
I
don't
just
wanna.
no, I really I
That's-
don't.
I watch it just to keep abreast of what's going on. You have to keep abreast of what's going on and listen to the real news, not all these jerks on all these stupid talk shows that
I don't think there is any
don't tell
real
you anything.
news. I really don't. It's all opinions. And that's what irks me. That's why I don't like
Yeah.
watching it. If it was just facts and pure facts on both sides, I'd watch both sides. That's fine.
You don't know
But-
what is though. That's the
But
problem.
well, that's exactly. And a lot of it is their opinions on what
Yep.
they think
Correct.
of
Correct.
what it all is. And that I don't care what you think. That's not I don't know. Just tell me
It's not answering questions.
right.
Yep.
It drives me nuts when they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, my opinion's this, or I think that. I don't care. That's
You know
not
what your
news.
it's opinion.
is, right?
Opinion
Yeah, that's
news.
not news.
Well, let's get on Facebook. Go get the truth out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's all right
Right.
there.
All
yeah.
right there,
Uh-huh.
Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Griswold
It's all
News
the
and Notes.
same.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I don't like watching the news. I just get irritated because it's all
Oh, you want to throw a rock
it's
through
just
the
all
TV?
opinions and people over talking everybody and they're
Mm.
arguing about stuff and there's no right or wrong. It's just people having different views on everything, and you could literally scream at each other till the cows come home.
Where's
and
Walter Cronkite when you need
nothing's
him?
going to change. So it just I just
Back when-
get irritated.
News was news, right?
No, when you got facts for both sides,
True.
Mhm.
you
Yep.
know, or all the sides, whatever
Mhm.
side you were on.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking it up now, trying to find out like why he had to give Angola money.
You know.
I don't see
Hey, Rich
a
Waslow
reason.
says it's forever development of Angola, political and economic. Yeah, so
It's for economic development.
that's what Rich is saying. But
Hmm.
in any case, I think part of the reason he did it because we haven't been paying attention. China is deep into South America,
South America or South Africa?
South America,
Really?
and they're also doing business in Africa. So they're digging in like ticks everywhere.
Hmm.
So we have not been really
Competitive.
competitive out there, sleeping at the wheel. So now we got to pay attention to what's going on out there, and China is. You got to keep an eye on them people.
It'll be interesting to
So.
see what unfolds. I
Yeah.
know when's inauguration, the 20th, right?
20th.
So it'll be interesting to see what unfolds. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think I like a lot of the plans that have been discussed. I think a lot of them are a bit wild and very
Aggressive.
Not necessarily I mean, yeah, but I think they're just very big. I mean, like, I don't think some of these things I don't think can be done in 4 years. Like, talking about getting rid of Department of Education. I don't see that being completely abolished in 4 years. Like, that's going to take some time if they're even able to accomplish that. I can see restructuring it and, definitely making changes and that sort of thing. But getting rid of it in 4 years, that would be, I don't know how you would do that. But maybe they have a plan. I don't know.
The first thing you got to do is I don't think people realize how much money is being spent with the illegal immigration and how that money could be utilized for our veterans, for our elderly, for the school systems. And, I think Denver was like $530 million they've been paying for the last 2 years for illegal immigrants. I don't know what we're doing in Connecticut, but that would frost me to find out that we're spending all that money on illegal immigrants, and we could be utilizing it for some of the homeless, some of the American citizens that could use it.
Is the federal government funding it?
Either way, it's our money.
Well, I understand that, but at the state level, it's a little different because it's making sure your roads get plowed in the wintertime. The federal government, I realize they give the state money for that stuff too, but
I don't know.
The Department of Education, in my opinion, that's another one of those things that doesn't belong in the federal government's hands.
That's their point.
It should
their
be
point is
it
should be in the states.
Without going down that nasty rabbit hole of what took place, recently with Roe versus Wade. But listen, it didn't belong in the federal government's hands. Simple. Whether you like what they're doing or not is a different story.
Well, they're trying to shrink government
with the department,
right?
Or make it more feasible. Like this is who is it? Ramaswamy and Elon are going to take care of, right?
The Department of...
This is their government
general
efficiency.
Government efficiency. Doge.
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
Very interested to see what they do.
It's needed.
I would have you seen...
A good flushing in Washington, D.C. is needed.
An enema?
Did you see there was a listing from 2023 of like crazy spending, like wacky spending that was like money that was sent outside of the U.S. at a federal level. And it was really weird things. Like they said in Paris, I guess old butchers have their own language and the butchers are getting older and dying off. And so the language is dying off. We sent them money to study butcher language in Paris.
Excellent.
Like we're sending money to other countries for things like this. There was a whole list in 2023. And it wasn't a ton of money. It was definitely in the millions, but the grand scheme of things, but if just that little bit, though, right? Yeah. That's just the little bit that they put on the PowerPoint slide for the presentation.
During the COVID scamdemic.
Yep.
There was plenty of bills that were passed for money and stuff like that. And if you ever looked at the details of all those bills, it'd appall you to see where a lot of that money went to. Like a third of the money actually went to the American citizens, and the rest of it went elsewhere to a bunch of junk. And that's how they're spending your money.
Who do you think paid the $700,000 for the security fence around Biden's summer home?
Oh yeah, that was all us.
Who do you think paid for that?
Yeah, we paid.
And why
for
did he
that.
have to have a fence?
Yeah, right.
Why did he have to have security around his beach house in Rehoboth?
Oh my gosh, I saw the funniest video. There were these guys walking around to certain houses that had certain signs in front of them during like the election period. and these guys were walking up to the doors, knocking on them, being like, hey, do you support immigration, yada yada. And, oh yes, of course we do. We really need to support them, and we have to welcome them. Da 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 da. And he'd call on the walkie-talkie. He'd be like, all right, we found a home, bring them in. And he'd bring in a bus, and there'd be like 10 guys that get off the bus and start walking up to the front door, and they're like, oh no, not here, not here,
Yeah,
no,
not my backyard.
not here,
Yeah,
no, somewhere else, but not here.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It
I
was
said, "Don't keep it down in New
hysterical.
Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. Don't bring them up here."
It was so funny. The look
Remember-
on these people's faces when they saw the guys getting off the bus, they were just like,
Oh, you remember when?
one?
You remember when they sent the buses of them up to
oh, Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard?
Mhm.
Martha's Vineyard.
How did that go?
That they were out in 24 hours.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like waving like, bye.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
Best of
but guess
luck.
what? Massachusetts sanctuary state.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're going to
But not
protect
in
them,
Martha's
but
Vineyard.
not in my backyard,
Yeah, I know.
not in the elite's
New York,
backyard.
it got so bad with was it the Texas governor Abbott there sending busloads of them up to New York
Oh
Yep.
my God.
that New York actually stopped the buses from crossing
Yeah.
the state line.
Mhm.
So they were unloading them in New Jersey and shuffling them up into New York out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know?
Unbelievable.
It's like, oh, wait a minute. I thought you wanted
Oh
these
yeah, well,
people.
no,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
nobody
yeah,
cares
yeah.
about us down in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
know?
Lucky
it's,
they got through the razor wire.
yeah,
So
it's,
anyway,
it'll be interesting to see
Yep.
see what, even just on day one, because
Mm.
on day one they always try to start reversing like the simple things that
Yeah.
they can.
but
on
the
day
thing is, you
one.
got some of these people that are crying. Well, you're going to be separating families. So first thing they're going to do is they're going to get rid of the bad guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to
Yeah,
get
the known
control of the
terrorists.
fentanyl drug
Mhm.
issue and stuff like that, because a lot of that is we've had Americans killed, raped, missing,
Mhm.
and
Trafficked,
dying off of these drugs that they're bringing in. That needs all to be brought under control.
Yep.
Because part of the Constitution, when they take an oath as president and vice president of the United States,
Mhm.
is protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And part of that is us,
Mhm.
the American citizen.
Yep.
That has not happened. And it's got to get back on track.
Yeah.
The security of this nation
Remember
comes
The
first.
people that want all these immigrant families to stay together are the ones that kept you separated from your family 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Just
Yep.
remember that. There's no loyalty to family.
Well, I think
None.
that Homan guy, Tim Homan, Tom
Tim,
Homan,
Yeah, Tom. Yeah.
and he was asked about that. He was like, "What?" They were asking him, you're in favor of separating families, and he was like, "No." He's like, "We can deport them all together."
That's
Yeah.
right.
He's like, "They don't have to be separated.
Yeah.
We can deport them all."
Heck, a week or so ago, they had little kids crossing the border without their
Oh
families.
yeah, a lot of them are trafficked.
Right? Because
Mhm.
they're thinking that based on our sympathies and stuff, we're not going to let
Mhm.
them in. We're going to let their family,
Well,
the rest of
because
their
we
families
have.
in.
We have
Right?
been.
Because we have. So what do I think
Yep.
about those parents that let a 2-year-old cross the border by herself?
Mhm.
I
Or
don't
just
think a
with
lot of
some
them.
stranger.
Right? Anyway, we've got some more comments. Let's see. Rachel says some newscasts need to start with "Once Upon a Time."
Mm,
Rich,
that'd be funny.
Rich Wazwick says China is taking over slowly,
Oh, yeah, they
and we have
are.
not been paying attention.
They're playing chess,
It all
and we're
started
playing
with a weather
checkers.
balloon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
They're playing
I mean,
chess.
yeah, we couldn't even knock that down.
Yep.
Let it
We
go
didn't even know it was
They
coming.
let it go across the whole
They're
goddamn
playing.
country before
They're
we
playing
got it
chess,
done.
and we have nobody sitting on the other side playing with them
Yep. Mhm.
right now. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
That weather balloon went coast to coast.
Mhm.
The weather balloon.
Let's see. Ronnie Gromko said, "Why is the borough paying for 2 administrators for utilities?"
Okay, so the outgoing DPU director had to train the new guy, so there was just a little bit of an overlap, but that should be done soon. Like I'd say within the next maybe month or so, I think is what was discussed the other night.
So
At
actually
the,
having a turnover.
oh yeah. He's been training. I don't remember when Ellier started. May have been maybe a month or so ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it should be
Okay.
done within a month. I think they said the other night at the meeting, January, the
Somebody
outgoing
said
director
something
will be retiring.
Ken was going in January. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
what
but
I
it's
heard.
just
I'm
the
not in the borough. I don't
transition.
know.
Yeah, it's just the transition time,
Yeah.
and then that'll be it.
Okay.
So
Supposed to be,
that's
I think-
all.
I thought Ken was supposed to be until June,
I think they said his
Originally.
contract is till July
July.
or through July, but he'll be retiring prior to
Okay.
that, and we don't have to buy him out of the contract or anything like that. Retirement is the end. That's it. So, and they mentioned January for that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so he says, you're talking about
Oh.
money being wasted in the federal government. Why not discuss what's happening in our own backyard? So you've already explained why we're paying for 2 people, because you need
Yep.
a little bit of a turnover time.
Yeah, and I have to apologize. We did not. We had some internet issues last night in the borough meeting. We always stream it, and I was using a hotspot, and in the middle of the meeting, the hotspot like died or whatever. And I thought it had reconnected. It showed that it was live again,
Yeah.
and I guess it wasn't. I don't know. It's so apologies for that, but the minutes will be out, and
Okay.
yeah, we can certainly answer any questions. Lori's really good about answering questions that you guys may have. So it looks
All right.
like Mike is doing a
Got a game
sport, game somewhere, and he needs to get on YouTube, and he can't do it because we're on it.
All right.
So we need to go, and it's 6:30 anyway.
All right. So we're going to say goodbye, and Mike will be back tomorrow night with Paul and Rich, the guy in the orange sweatshirt. And see you again. Have a good evening.
Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.
See ya.